Hello friends. Welcome to Horror Story Chronicles. If you have come to our channel for the first time, we request you to subscribe and give us an opportunity to scare you. Getting into the plot, today's horrifying and scary story is based on a hospital, which is located in a remote village near Arizona, USA. Every day many patients came here for their treatment. There was a patient in this hospital who was in coma for 20 years. It is strange that no one knew who he was, where he came from, and who had brought him here. It was also strange that the patient had not closed his eyelids. After a few days, work started to expand the hospital and now there was a shortage of beds. Therefore, more patients were refused admission and the hospital seemed deserted at night. One dark night, Nurse Kathy was on duty and she came across that strange patient's room during her rounds. He looked towards his bed and suddenly the patient started screaming. His voice was like laughter, which would give goosebumps to anyone who heard it. Kathy jumped out of fear and ran out of her room screaming loudly. Hearing her screaming, the doctors, guards, and all the other nurses rushed to her and held her and started asking, "Kathy, what happened? Why did you start screaming so much, and why do you look so scared?" Kathy said nervously, "Doctor, that patient, who has been lying in coma for 20 years, is not at her bed." The doctor was shocked. What are you saying? Where is his bed number 9? Kathy again said, "Doctor, he is not on his bed, he is not on his bed." Kathy was scared and said to the doctor, "I am telling the truth, doctor. When I went to all the patients, he was not on his bed." After looking at him the doctor said, "Let us all see him." Kathy jumped out of fear and followed the doctor and said, "No, you guys go, if you have to go then go, I am very scared." The doctor said, "Okay, you wait here. We will come after seeing him." After this, the doctor and other staff proceeded towards his room, and the patient was lying in the same position as before. The doctor looked at her and said, "It seems that Kathy has gone a bit crazy. She is just saying something nonsense. Hope her health is fine." Kathy said, "I am telling the truth, doctor, he is not on his bed." The doctor said, "Let us all see him." Everyone started going to his room, and as they got closer, they saw that he was lying in a coma on his bed number 9. Everyone was shocked, and went near his bed and started talking to him. The doctor said, "You can talk to me, I am your doctor." But then the patient turned his eyes towards the doctor and jumped on him and killed him in a very gruesome manner, by removing his intestines from his stomach to have a feast of it to the horror of others. Seeing the nurse and the guard, the doctor said, "We have made a big mistake by keeping him here. He will not leave us. Come on, let's all run away from here." The nurse said in fear, "No sir, this patient is something different now. He has been in a coma and died long time ago and he has been possessed by a ghost who knows no limits of brutality." The guard also got scared and said, "Yes sir, she is right, we should leave from here." The doctor scolded both of them and said, "You people, shut up. We have seen such a scene for the first time in history. Waking up after being in a coma and having such a terrible laugh with him, what a strange thing. This thing can bring us 1 million views on YouTube." The doctor began to approach him, and as he approached, the patient turned his eyes towards the doctor again, and leapt upon him and tore him to pieces like a wild animal. The doctor's skull was broken in 3 pieces and his eyes flew in opposite directions. Seeing all this scene of the nurse and the guard, everyone's condition became worse, and they ran away from there screaming. After this, all the doors and windows of all the hospitals were closed and no one's phone was even working. The ghostly patient was roaming around the hospital like a wild animal. Everyone else was running around trying to save their lives, but the doors of the hospital were closed and they could not get out. The ghostly patient, with his scary laughter, sought out the rest, and brutally killed them. When morning came, he went back to his room, lay down and went into a coma. Then the police came, but then strangely the patient had disappeared without any trace. And the hospital was closed. After this incident, he became the testimony of the ghostly patient. The hospital forever haunted and people still tell the story that he is in the hospital room and during the night he gets up and walks around with a ghostly laugh like no other. This mystery is still unsolved till date. Thanks for being there, friends. Subscribe and let us keep telling you scary stories like this.